So feel free to prop yourself up on a blanket or a bolster if that feels good for you. All right. Yeah. And then let's just do this. Let's just stretch up a little bit with an in-breath. Reach up nice and tall. Just really lengthen the sides of your waist. And then as you exhale, just let the arms slowly come down. So just like having this movement guide you into your breath. Big breath in. Reach up really tall and then exhale it all the way out. Good. One last time. Breathe it all the way in. Let it all go. Let your day go. Let any tension or anxiety go if you can. And then just bring your hands to your knees and close your eyes. And without forcing the breath and trying to control the breath in any way, just begin to notice it. Just dial your attention into your breathing. Just noticing the quality of the breath as it moves in through the nose, the temperature of the air, and just that grounding, settling feeling that you get with your full, complete exhale. Just letting the area around the top of your head, the crown of your head and your temples, your third eye, just beginning to let those areas soften a bit. Relax your jaw and just let your tongue rest on the floor of your mouth with a nice little space between the upper and lower teeth. And without letting yourself slouch, just sitting up nice and tall, just see if you can soften your belly a little bit. Just invite the breath in there. Right? Sometimes we go throughout our day without really noticing the breath, and I like to think of the breath as an old friend, right? So just welcoming that old friend back into your awareness as a comfort. And let us, each and every one of you, just to recognize the fact that you showed up for yourself. It requires a lot of dedication. It requires a sense of self-love and self-care. So let us just really let this time and this practice be sacred for you. Just recognizing it as a time to hit the pause button, a space for healing, an opportunity to help all the systems of our physical body find some balance and help them to communicate effectively with one another. A time to honor what's there for us in our hearts and our minds. Just giving everything just a little bit more space, just to be, for energy to move, for stories to dissolve. And for us to just find a little bit of peace right here, right now. All right. Give yourself a little smile. Open your eyes. And find either a blanket or a bolster if you have it, okay? I'll just demonstrate with the blanket since I have it right here. So you're just going to put a blanket. You could roll it if you want. You could fold it. And you're just going to put it lengthwise. And we're going to be coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. So that means that we're going to have our spine on this blanket. The bottoms of the feet are going to come together with the knees out. And I like to, since we're using that blanket, the higher the blanket or the prop that you're using, the greater release and stretch you're going to feel across the front of your chest and in the front of your shoulders and your front deltoids. So you might want to just adjust accordingly depending upon what you're needing. If you need to prop the outside of the thighs to support your legs a little bit, feel free to do that. And you want to take your arms out to the side so that you can get that just kind of straight out. So you're almost in a T shape so that you can really begin to feel that release across the front of the chest and across the front of the shoulders. And just begin to settle in here. Right. Just letting your thoughts about what's happening or your thoughts about the day, just doing your best to just slowly begin to let those just fall away one by one so that you can be fully present for this moment, right? Fully present for this healing time, this opportunity just to unfold and unwind the tension from your day. Just quietly taking in just all the sensations, the sounds as you rest in this shape. Just ensuring that the quality of your breath is very even and balanced. You're really luxuriating in a nice full exhale each time. Just helping our nervous system into that parasympathetic state, the resting and digesting. Just taking this time just to remember what is good and right. Just being reminded the safety and the sureness of this moment in time right here where you are. Just breathe into that. Just take one more breath here. Big breath in. All the way out. Maybe you let a big sigh out with that one, a little bit of sound. And then you can go ahead and just roll to one side or the other. And take your prop and set it off to the side and just go ahead and come back onto your back here for a little bit of movement. So you can hug your knees. And I like to do this. I like to take my knees a little bit wider, and if you can, kind of tuck them into the crease of your elbows. And then just gently start to rock yourself. Just let yourself be soothed by that rhythm of rocking from side to side. Let your head roll along with the body. As the body moves to the right, the head rolls to the right. Good. And come back to center and just stretch your arms and legs straight up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to circle the arms, circle the wrists and circle the ankles. Just getting a little bit of movement in those joints and stimulating the production of the synovial fluid in the joints. Good. And then just shake your legs and shake your arms. Shake your whole body if you want to. Maybe roll your head a little bit side to side. This is a really nice way just to release some pent up. If you have any kind of just anxiousness or maybe just have that pent up energy from the day. Good. All right. And then go ahead and roll onto your side. We'll come up onto hands and knees. And you might want to put a blanket down for your knees here just because we will be here for a little bit. We're going to come into Anahatasana, or puppy dog pose. Before we do that, why don't we move the spine just a little bit before we ease into this. So let's do some cat-cow. So with your hands down, spread the fingers, and just start to really release and stretch your belly towards the earth underneath you. Reach your chin out in front of you. Big breath. Exhale, draw the belly button up to the spine, press the floor away, round your back. Good. And then again, when you're ready to breathe in, opening the front of the spine, the front of the body. Exhale, rounding and opening the back body. Just searching for any areas that feel particularly tight. Good. And let's just move the hips in a few circles. Try to go, 4 or 5 turns in each direction. Try to let your legs below the knees be really passive. Just kind of letting the weight of the hips sort of do the work. Gravity. All right. And then sit back on your heels here for a moment. Let's just stretch the forearms a little bit here before we do anything else. So coming on up, just take your fingers like this, your hand, and you're going to want to turn your fingers out this way. We're just going to stretch the forearms here, the palms of the hands, the knuckles. Those of you that join me frequently, you know that I love to do this one because it's just a good one. Lots of us use, most of us. If we're not using a laptop or a computer, we're on our phones and we're driving cars and doing all sorts of things where we're kind of tightening and shortening these muscles. Good. Sometimes I'll do it and I just do like one finger at a time or all fingers at a time. Good. And then just roll the fist, make a nice fist with that hand and just roll it so that you're kind of rolling your fist down towards your forearm. All right. And then shake that out. Let's do the other side. Peel the fingers back. And try to keep everything else soft, relaxed. So belly, jaw, forehead, eyes. This is one of those stretches you can do any time of the day. If you've spent a lot of time typing, just take a few moments for yourself and just stretch it out. And then roll that fist, pulling the fist down towards the forearm. Good. And then go ahead and shake that out. And you can shake both hands there if you want to. Shake the arms a little bit. All right. So then let's come back to our hands and knees. And so for Anahatasana, we're going to do hands out in front first. So just going to crawl the hands forward. Your bottom is going to stay up in the air, but rather than having your bottom in front of your knees like this, you want to just have them rock them back just behind the knees slightly. And then the forehead's going to come down. You can stay right there just with the arms stretched out in front of you, or if you want, you can opt to bring the palms of your hands together and then bend the elbows so that you actually come onto the back side of your elbows with the forehead down. That's a nice option as well. So you get a little bit of a stretch through your triceps. And with any of these poses, it's your practice, so it's all about just kind of finding what works for your body and where you are at right now. So if you need to bring in some props or make adjustments, right? It's I think one of the huge benefits of practicing yoga is just that we become more aware and more attuned to our bodies and what our bodies need and in the moment, and rather than just trying to apply sort of the same model each and every time to our body. It's listening, moment to moment, day to day, listening to the feedback that we get from our bodies. Just breathing deep into your belly, just allowing those bottom ribs to kind of fan out, releasing closer to the earth underneath you. If you start to feel too much tension in your lower back, just maybe draw the belly back towards the spine a little bit, lengthening the lower back, finding some space there. Just take a couple more breaths here. It's really letting the breath go with your out breath here. Good. And then just slowly bringing yourself back up to hands and knees. Maybe just moving a little bit. Maybe doing a couple cat back stretches just to kind of counter that. All right. And then we're going to come to seated for butterfly pose, feel free, just depending upon how you're feeling, feel free to sit on a blanket. You could prop yourself on a bolster if you'd like. If you want props underneath the outer knees, you might want to grab a pillow or two if you're near your couch. And then look down at your feet and kind of just ask yourself, what am I feeling here? Do I want to have my heels in really close? Do I want to walk my heels out a little bit further? There's different ways to do this. You could even take the feet way out in front of you. You're going to feel it a little bit differently depending upon where your feet are in relation to your inner groin here. So just kind of play around, see where you want to be. Take a big breath in. Just enjoy that sensation of lifting up through your spine. And then as you exhale, just gently beginning to find your edge. Right, just nice and slow, just slowly starting to lean forward. Right. You just move ever so kindly to the edge of sensation where we're feeling the deep stretch. If you have a bolster or you have a couple blocks and you want to propping your forehead is a really nice thing to do in this posture so that the weight of your head isn't just kind of hanging on the neck and putting a lot of extra tension on the neck. So feel free to do that. I just invite you to get creative. Use your bolster end on end. Use a couple blocks, or you could use the edge of a coffee table with a pillow on it, I get really creative at home with what I choose to use for props. Just take this time just to become quiet. Let me just come into our last breath or two here. Just really letting go of all holding, any rigidity, any holding back. Just letting that all go. And then gently, slowly bringing yourself out. All right. Okay, just untuck your feet there for a moment and let's just circle the ankles a few times. Wiggle the toes. Just get a little bit of movement there. All right. And then we're going to come into dragonfly. So we're going to take the feet really wide out into a nice V shape. And again, grab some props. Just have them handy. And you want to just start by sitting up nice and tall. See if you can get if your pelvis is not in an upright position, if you feel like your pelvis is kind of rocked back like that, so your hamstrings are maybe a little bit on the tighter side, then just prop your bottom a little bit higher. Maybe take your blanket, fold it up a little bit higher, or even sit up on a bolster. All right, try that. And then just I always, when I come into this posture, I like to flex my feet just to begin with, just to really, really lengthen the back of the legs. And then I just take my time, just explore. How far am I going to go today? Where's my stopping point? Right. Grab that block or that bolster. Put your forehead on it so that your neck, your cervical spine can really relax and release here. Oftentimes when we're in our day and we're at a laptop or we're on our phone, we're at the computer, we're already in that rounded shape, right? We're kind of in a position where the head is hanging. So, right, there's so much tension being placed on the neck, the muscles of the neck and the upper back. So when we're doing that in our practice, it's nice just to support the head and give the neck and the upper back a little bit of a break. Just let everything go. It's so important when we are feeling depleted from just life or stress, maybe from spending too much time in front of a computer screen. When we feel that sense of being depleted, it's so important to come back to a practice that helps to restore. It helps us feel nurtured and safe. It brings our nervous system back into a place of homeostasis. Feel free to take these last 2 or 3 breaths and maybe just make a little bit of sound as you sigh the breath out. Maybe you hum. Right? The beauty is no one can hear you, so you get to do whatever you want when you're at home. And then slowly we'll start to come back out. Take your time. No hurry, no rush. Good. All right. You can grab behind your knees. And we're going to be doing a little bit something here to open up the front of the thighs here and the psoas. So we're going to come into dragon pose. And you may want to have, I'm going to show you a couple different ways to support your back leg. So one way that might feel really nice is just to have a folded blanket. Watch what I'm going to do. So we'll do right foot forward. Remember, you're going to have your arms to the inside of that front leg. So you could put your whole back leg from your knee all the way down to your foot onto that blanket. You can let the toes hang off the blanket. This is a really nice option. Another option is to have your bolster and watch. I really enjoy doing it this way. Put the thigh on top of the bolster. And just have just your kneecap just barely hanging off the bolster so that it's not on the floor, it's just off the edge there. All right. Your right knee aligned roughly over, stacked over your ankle. Turn around so you can see what I mean. Okay. So just like this. Knee over the ankle. Just go ahead and start your journey, right? Sensations that come up might be stronger in nature in some poses than others, right? Just depends upon the person. Just allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, but in a way that is non-reactive. Right? It's just being aware of the sensations that you're feeling in your body. It's easy to become agitated, particularly when we get into some of these deeper hip openers. So just notice when that's happening. Remember that your breath is the one tool you have to calm and quell that feeling of agitation, right? The sense of anxiousness that can come over you. Just breathe into it, welcome it in, say hello. As you breathe in all that you're feeling, all of the experience. And as you breathe out, you're just giving it space and you're letting it go. You're letting it soften. Watch your thoughts, right? Just remembering that our thoughts shape our experience. If you're not enjoying the experience you're having, maybe it's time to shift your thoughts. Good. We're going to slowly start to ease our way back out of this posture. So just take your hips back. Bring your opposite knee down. And whenever you're ready, we're just going to switch sides here. So the left foot will come up. Take your time. Back, either the back shin on your blanket or maybe the back thigh on the bolster. You can even add if you want, even maybe playing around with bending the back knee can feel nice sometimes. Just getting a little added stretch there, more on the top of the thigh. Rather than getting carried off by thought, by fidgeting, just stay present with your breath. With the understanding that it's healing, right? That feeling, that sensation of the deep stretch, stretching the fibers of the tissue, and it's healing. It's providing a pathway for greater flow of blood and fluids, of prana. It's releasing physical tension, but in that process of releasing physical tension in the body, and we've all experienced that feeling, is that we also release mental tension, right? All that stuff that gets stored in our physical body. All right, we're going to just gently begin to ease ourselves out of this. Go ahead and come back down onto hands and knees. And then feel free to move here a little bit. Again, if you'd like, maybe do some hip circles. Maybe do some cat-cow. All right. And then we are actually going to come on up to stand for just an inversion, a gentle forward fold. So this is just a way to just help our spines to release and just get us inverted, because this is a really nice way just to wind down and to bring some sense of calm and a sense of balance to the nervous system. Feel free, since you're at home, it can feel really nice to actually put your head on the arm of a chair or a sofa, anything like that, with a pillow stacked on top of it. Otherwise, feel free to just be on your mat, okay? You're going to want to bend your knees a little bit as you come into this forward fold. So you're just going to kind of be dangling here. We want to help the spine and the vertebrae of the spine just to release and expand a little bit. Those little discs in between your vertebrae get compressed all day long from sitting and standing. I should probably mention, if you have any issues with your eyes, detached retina, anything like that, then opt for child's pose here rather than getting completely inverted. If you do have low blood pressure, you might want to use the sofa for the forehead. Just letting it go. Notice the feet and where your feet are placed. Maybe you want to have the feet a little bit wider, maybe you want to have them a little bit closer together. Just finding what works for you. Just going to be here a little bit longer, just a couple more breaths. And then you want to make sure to come up really, really slow. Actually, you don't even need to come up all the way. What you can do is just put your hands down and bend your knees and just gently bring yourself back down onto your hands and knees. And then as you're on your hands and knees here, we'll come into sleeping swan or pigeon. So we'll start with the right leg first. You're just gonna slide the right knee out in front of you, and then you just want to toe heel that foot over so that it's in front of your left hip. If you want to put a folded blanket underneath your bottom here or underneath your pelvis. A folded blanket can be a really nice addition. Just kind of ease into it. And if this doesn't work for your knees for whatever reason, you can come onto your back and you can just cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. You could just have your foot on the floor like this, or you could lift the legs in, holding onto the back of the left leg. Okay, that is another option. Otherwise, we're just going to slowly start to ease our way. Some of you might be able to comfortably bring your forehead to rest, maybe on the back of your hands. Again, props are really nice. Block works great to help the neck and the jaw release and relax. Just your first few breaths, just kind of scanning the body and noticing just any areas where you could, just let go a little bit, where you could soften. That might be the shoulders, might be the belly. Check what's going on in your jaw. Letting the muscles of the face soften and relax. Just one or two more breaths here. And then just gently taking your time, easing your way out. So as you come out, you're going to want to probably just stretch out the back of that right leg a little bit. So you have a couple different options. You can just reach back, come onto the ball of the foot like this and reach through your heel. That's a really nice way to release. If you are feeling like you just want to maybe fit in a down dog, if you haven't done that today and that's calling to you, go ahead and take a down dog. All right. Very nice. All right, we still have one more side left to do. So left knee, same thing, just slide it up. Maybe you're coming onto your back to do the other variation. Again, use your props if you need to. Make sure your back leg is kind of reaching straight back behind you. And just gently easing yourself down into a place where you can rest. You want to be able to just reside here so that you're not so deep in the posture that you feel like you have to constantly be fidgeting. Right? Sometimes our fidgeting in these postures can be just a subconscious way of, or an unconscious way of avoiding. Just distracting ourselves by constantly moving. It's a way of avoiding really sitting with the sensation that we're feeling. So just be aware of when that's happening and ask yourself if the fidgeting is, if it's necessary. or if you are indeed just avoiding what is. This is where the growth and the magic happens, the transformation of this process. Last couple of breaths here, just fully unburdening, just unleashing tension. Letting your whole back body release and soften. And gently, slowly starting to ease your way out. Take your time. So again, as you come out, just doing your stretching, releasing the back of that knee, just in whatever way you want to, whatever way you're feeling. And then we're going to come onto our backs. So if you'd like, and we'll be down here kind of for the remainder of our time, so if you want to put a blanket down to lie on, you can do that. If not, just coming to lie down. And you are going to maybe want to grab your strap. And I just realized I didn't grab mine. Oh, here's a strap. I will use this one. Okay. So we're just going to come onto the back. We're going to take the strap over the bottom of the right foot. And then what you can do is just the left leg, you can do one of two things. You can have the knee bent with the bottom of your foot resting on the floor. You can have the leg stretched out in front of you. You're going to walk your hands up the strap. I like to do it so that my arms are kind of a little bit long. I have a little bit of room here, a little give, but then I can just use the weight of my arms to just tug on the leg. Maybe just begin just by stretching out your toes, fanning the toes out. And just really anchoring or grounding the back of your right hip. As you start to pull the left leg in towards the body, and do your best just to keep your right leg nice and straight. Even if that means your leg moves a little bit further away from the body. We want to really encourage a nice long lengthening of the tissue and the muscles in the back of the leg, the hamstrings. Notice how your head is feeling. Sometimes it feels nice here just to either close the eyes or maybe roll the head from left to right very gently. Just another way to release tension in the neck and the back of your skull. Good. We're going to hold it in with both pieces of the strap now, or you can just, get rid of the strap altogether. Just half happy baby. Grab the inside or the outside of that right foot. So you could be holding onto the strap or you could be holding onto the foot. Just take the foot out to the right just enough so that your ankle is kind of stacked right over your knee. Keep your breath nice and full. Your mind calm, passive. Good, and then we're going to move into a twist here. So you can just take your strap and off the foot for the time being and just start to bring your leg across the body so that you get a couple different options here for twists. You can just take the right leg with the bent knee over to your left. All right, this is a really nice twist. Just reach your right arm over to the right. You could bring both legs in and cross the right leg over the left and then take the legs over for twisted roots. Or you could just have the knees, inside of the knees, the inside of the shins together stacked on top of one another. And just reach your arms out in opposite directions. Just giving the body some time to open up. The spine, the upper back, the chest. See if you can give permission for every inch of your body to release into this twist. We're going to gently come back to center. So take your right leg in first, back to center. Left leg following. Set your feet on the floor for a moment with your knees bent. Find your strap again if you're using a strap. Good. Bring it up over the bottom of your left foot, right in front of the heel. Walk the arms up, the hands up. Hold onto your strap. Take your leg nice and straight. Take a nice big breath in. Fan your toes open. And then gently just a little bend in the elbows so that you're just using the weight of the arms to pull the leg in ever so slightly. And we're going to slowly, so either holding on to both pieces of strap with the same hand, or maybe just not holding the strap at all, just grabbing the bottom of the foot and bringing that leg into half happy baby. And just reach nice and long through the opposite leg. And we're going to gently move into that twist. Whatever variation you'd like to do, maybe just bringing the leg across, just the left leg, twisted roots, or just stacking the knees and the shins. And take a moment just to notice if you're holding back anywhere. Maybe you're just not fully letting go in the posture. Just completely unburdening yourself, your body. And you can gently begin to bring yourself back to center, one leg at a time. Give your knees a nice little squeeze. Maybe rock a little bit left to right once again. Good. And you can take a bolster if you want, or a blanket rolled up underneath the back of your knees. Just staying on your back, putting the blanket, some support there for your back of your legs, maybe covering with a blanket. Just allowing yourself to rest still in this, again, this just the sacred space of healing. This little space and time that you've chosen to carve out of your day specifically for yourself. Don't look outside, and don't look inside either. Don't look up or down or sideways. Don't seek answers where they cannot be found. In the quiet, open spaces of the heart, just be yourself and let the act of being lead you into now. It's by Dana Falls. I'd like to leave you with the ability to be able to rest longer in your Shavasana if you have the time to do so. Don't feel like you need to get up unless you are ready to do so. And I want to just say thank you so much. It was an honor to be here and to guide you through your practice this evening and just to support you. It's just, the highlight of my day today. So take good care of yourselves. Be well, all of you. Namaste.